So today, lads, we're going to be talking a little bit about Iowa State women's basketball, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what is going on. They have just lost 5 straight. Audi Crooks had her worst game of the season, and as far as just the on-court play, she's probably no longer an All-American. And look, before I get into breaking down any of the actual game, this is basketball. This is purely basketball. And I mean that because I've seen so many things about Audi Crooks where it's not even about basketball anymore. It's just making fun of Audi Crooks for whatever reason, using her to make fun of women's basketball. Where it's not that. Audi Crooks is one of the most dominant players in women's college basketball. Right now, she's going through a bit of a cold streak, and clearly, when it comes to social media, she commented on my TikToks basically just about her not helping up on defense. Like, she does see everything. At the end of the day, this is basketball talk. And the fact that Audi Crooks is relevant enough to be talking about just shows how good of a player Audi Crooks is. That being said, the Iowa State Cyclones are the most watched team in women's basketball. They are the most watched team in women's basketball. However, that makes them relevant. They have lost 5 in a row, and this one was bad. This one was really bad. I've been calling Addy Brown. I've watched little bits of Iowa State. And the first time, I really sat down to, watch them play. I watched them play Iowa last year in bits and pieces. And I've skim-watched a lot of games. The first time I really watched them play was against Iowa. As in broke down the individual game. And by the end of that game, I literally, from breaking it down, I was like, it wasn't actually Audi Crooks' 30 points to kill Iowa. It was Addy Brown. Addy Brown has been injured. I mean this when I say this. Addy Brown is pushing towards lottery pick in 2027. Addy Brown projects to be a better pro than Mylasia Fulwiley. I don't think she's better than Fulwiley talent. I think she projects to be she's a much higher floor. I think her size, her defense, her shooting, her playmaking ability, she becomes she's for lack of a better word, she doesn't have the post game of Sarah Strong, but she is your kind of point forward. She's a more skilled, less athletic Madison Booker type big that can run the one. But Audi Crooks coming out here with 6 of 14 from the field and 15 points. It is tough. And at this stage, she's just not getting the ball. It's not necessarily her fault, but this team hasn't won a game in 2026. They have not won a game in 2026. And the problem is that a lot of people are saying, oh, it's other teams that figured it out. Other teams have figured out how to beat this team without 2 other starters. Probably their next 2 best players after Audi Crooks are gone. And the thing is that this team was they were a well-drilled unit. You had good defenders. You had players that had an ability to kind of make up what Audi Crooks did badly on the defensive end and get her the ball on the offensive end. But now we're at the stage that they're down 31 points going into the fourth quarter. Going into the fourth quarter, they had 35 points. They had 35. It is not good. It is not good at all. You have got a player who is supposed to be the best player or one of the best players in the nation. And I think everyone will say this right now. Addy Brown is that team. Addy Brown, that team goes where without Addy Brown, they're nothing. At the same time, without Audi Crooks, they're probably nothing. But I also make this point. They are Sweet 16, Elite 8 contenders with both of them. Without Addy Brown, they're not good enough to make the tournament. Without Audi Crooks, and even with Addy Brown in, and Williams as well, obviously, I still think they're a tournament team. They're a tournament team. It is scary how good Addy Brown is. But at the end of the day, Audi Crooks, it's on the coach at this stage because she's too dominant. If she is only giving you 15 points, I mean this, she's not worth having on the floor. She's not worth having on the floor. I genuinely mean it. if it is if it's a case where Audi Crooks is this dominant, you've got to be able to run through her and you've got to be able to win. You've got to be able to figure this out. Because if she's giving you 14 points, she might as well be on the bench. And without her, you've got nothing. The team has to figure something out because she is just so dominant and obviously gigantic. You have to figure it out. Like, she is bigger, stronger, and immovable. And by the way, that is lower body strength. That is ability to seal, body control, all of that. Like, I mean it when I say it. Like, Addy Brown is very much... Not Addy Brown, geez. Audi Crooks is a player that should be nearly unguardable. Like, she is stronger. And that's the thing, is like, I do think that Audi Crooks, if she spends a summer working on her speed, I think the strength gap between Audi Crooks and the second strongest player in NCAA basketball is so large that I do think she spends a summer working on speed. Even if she does lose strength at the addition of getting some speed coming into her senior season, I can still see her being equally as dominant, if not more dominant, because she's still going to be stronger than everybody else. Like, Audi Crooks is like, and the amount of people that are just will use some sort of insult to say, oh, Audi Crooks is only good because of X, Y. Like, the obvious answer that she's probably heard a million times, everyone's heard it a million times, that I'm not going to say in a video. At the end of the day, when you are a pro athlete, when you're a collegiate athlete, which is a pro athlete at this stage, it is about knowing what's best for you, knowing how to be dominant, and whether Audi Crooks being this short spurts offensive player like she was at the start of the year, averaging 23 points in like 20 minutes a game, if that's the most dominant way for her to play and that's the best way for her to play and that's her best role, you do it. You play that role. If what's going to be best for her coming into her senior season is to go and get herself faster, even if it's at the expense of some strength, then at the end of the day, that's kind of what you have to do. And I know obviously it is a kind of touchy subject when we are talking about women's sports, but this is professional sports. This is pro sports. And at the end of the day, everyone is witnessing a player who is so dominant that if she is able to survive, if she's just able to survive on the defensive end at the pro level, she is going to make millions of dollars. But there's also a world where she doesn't even make it into the WNBA because of the defensive end. And the fact is that already there are signs that if you don't have the pieces around her, she's going to be ineffective and maybe even a net negative to the team if you don't have the right pieces around her, which is not great because of the, like, whatever about the gap between college and the pros in men's basketball, the gap between college and pros and women's is way bigger because there are so many complete garbage schools in NCAA D1 women's.